What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Easy, and today we are going to be talking about the characters that got done dirty, mistreated. The writer just simply didn't fuck with them. Simply put it, we're talking about the characters that deserve better. But before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and follow the socials down below, and share it to everybody you know. And plus, comment down what character you think deserve better. But without further ado, let's dive right in. Now, coming in number one, we have our favorite Marvel hero, at least to me, the one that basically they hate every time they write his story, SpiderMan. And to those who say they don't hate Spider-Man, if they don't, why the f do they just hate giving him the worst love life, giving him the automatic death seal of approval for Ben, Uncle Ben? Like, why? Why keep messing with Peter so much? Or just any variation of Spider-Man? It almost seems like the writers of Marvel hate him. Call it what you want, but that screams out a character that truly deserves better. I'll give you one example. The House of M, where they had Wanda to say, screw it, I don't want no mutants in the world, and he basically erased everybody. He woke up, he lost Gwen, he lost everything. Or you can take it to the MCU Spider-Man, where they all lost their girls.
Stay with me, stay with me. Stay with me, stay with me. You stay with me.
If that don't scream out that Spider-Man deserves better, I don't know what is. Now this next one comes up to a little nostalgic feel. At first, when we're kids, we always thought this guy was bugging, always an asshole, just always being a stick in the mud. But as we become adults, we all truly recognize and sympathize with this character because we all became him. And that character is Squidward. Now imagine, and this might hit home for a lot of y'all people. You wake up in your own crib, being peaceful, and you have annoying ass neighbors like Patrick and SpongeBob. And then you gotta go to a job where you're overworked and underpaid by a cheap ass boss that truly doesn't appreciate his workers like Squidward or SpongeBob. And on top of that, you have to deal with your neighbor at home and at work on a consistent basis, not letting you do any of your own hobbies while him just interrupting and being obnoxious and annoying. Truly, dog, I think everybody owes Squidward an apology, truthfully. And we're just being honest, that man needs a clean apology from everybody that grew up watching SpongeBob. Since we're sticking on that Nickelodeon train, I guess I can just move on to the next character, which is Asami from The Legend of Korra. Now, I know everybody's gonna be like, what? Why her? What does she deserve better? Well, if you look at it this way, right? When she got introduced, she was a love interest to Mako, who eventually ended up cheating on her with the Avatar multiple times, if we're being completely honest, in book 1 and in book 3. Or no, book 2, excuse me. And it's just like, did she really deserve that? And in book 1, she defended her father, talking about he's not an equalist. And turned out she was wrong, painfully wrong. Saw him get locked up in prison just to get him back in book 4, where he sacrificed himself in front of her, and died. At this point, she just cannot get a win in love life and in personal life. And on top of that, in book 2, she got robbed by the guy she trusted that was going to bring back her company from the ground up, and essentially just robbed her blind, completely blind. Just leave her hopeless and everything. And then in the end, I guess she got her girlfriend and love interest in Korra, but at what cost? You lost your dad twice, one in prison, then to death. You pretty much got cheated on and lost all your trust issues when it comes to Mako as a friend and a lover. And then, yeah, your only resurrection of anything that's happiness was Korra. I do like that show. I like it a lot. They did fuck around and just really did not do the main female characters justice. So with that being said, Asami deserves better. And a little bit to Korra too, since they were like, I swear they had like sadistic writers that just love showing Korra just get her ass beat in every book. But that's for a later day and for a different video. Now, I want to move on to a Disney villain. Now, roll with me here. This guy, I truthfully swear to God, no one even acknowledged, like, he didn't deserve a better life in general. Even though he's a villain, I mean, he's a crappy villain at that, but he truly deserved better. And that character is Dr. Doofenshmirtz. If you don't know, Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb, and he's a villain that gets his ass whooped by a platypus and a fedora. Wild statement I just said, but it is true. This man literally had probably the worst, and I mean the complete worst, childhood I've ever seen when it comes to a kid's show. How did your parents bring a new level of neglect to your own child by not being there on your own birth?
Day of my actual birth, both of my parents failed to show up.
Like, they gave birth to you and they didn't even show up. How is that even possible? They clearly had favoritism to your other sibling, your brother, and even your dad named a dog. Roll with me here. A dog, and named him Only Son.
My father said the dog was like the son he never had, and named him Only Son.
And he really only acknowledged the dog over Doofenshmirtz as his son. And on top of that, his own father decided, screw it, I'm gonna make you into a gnome. Just so you can, bring some value to your own life and to this family. A fucking gnome!
From a tender age, my father decided that it would be me. All through the cold night, as the Spitzenhound howled, my only companion was the moon. And my neighbor, Kenny.
Who does that to their own kid? Oh my god. And to wrap it all up, his only friend was a damn balloon named Balloony. Honestly speaking, he's probably like the runner-up for like #1 character that deserves better on this entire list, because Jesus Christ. How do you just give the kid the worst life known to man and expect him to be a good citizen in the end? That shit was a disaster from the beginning. Alright, this is for my anime fans, specifically the JJK fans. I know people should know where I'm going with this. Junpei, right? The only guy that really showed up for 3 episodes and was given the worst L life in history, dog. I get it, their whole mission was to make you feel bad for this guy no matter what from day one, but you had to do it so well. The first thing we see was him getting jumped by some bullies. Already a start to a fucking horrible backstory. On top of that, he was just feeling depressed, because obviously bullies were running his shit, and then he runs into Mahito, who feeds off of his negative energy and talking about, I can help you get back at those bullies, feeding into his anger, his demise. Just a bad mix for the whole story, right? But they sprinkle in a little hope, just a little bit, just to fuck with our hearts, just a little bit, right? Introduced us to Itadori as his friend. Gassed us all up, made them be friends, telling Itadori telling him, talking about some, oh yeah, they'll love you at the school I'm at, you can be a sorcerer just like I am. I was like, oh well, at least the boy's gonna get, a happy ending. Then you cut and you see, the next scene, his mother gets killed. What the fuck? Bro, just leave him alone. And even though that wasn't even the worst part of it all, just to sum it all up, and towards the end, he gets turned into a damn monster, a curse monster from that bitch ass Mahito, and ended up getting killed by Itadori. Y'all couldn't just not fuck with him for 3 episodes straight or whatever. It wasn't that deep that y'all had to just, pick a random victim and just give him the worst life imaginable, and in the end he still died. What was the message there? What was a clear message there? Everything about that world is just feeding off of negative energy, but that was a little too far, if you say so myself. Alright, sticking in the anime realm, I want to talk about the guy that truthfully, and I mean, he can be honorably #1 if we're being completely honest. Now for me, from the Rising of Shield Hero. Just like any isekai, this man got dragged into a world that he didn't want to go to and got put in the worst role known to man, the Shield Hero. Because when he gets there, the king is super dismissive against the Shield Hero because he just has a petty grudge against him for reasons who fucking knows, because he's just a bitch as it is. And just completely just doesn't give a shit about him. ignores him, acknowledges the other heroes on top of that. And to make matters worse, when they said make your party members or whatever, nobody even wanted to join now for me, except for one person that I shall not speak her name. But yeah, towards that whole painful day, and mind you, this was his first day, that one party member decided to show him around, help him level up, spend some of his money to get better armor and stuff for her, and I guess him, just to wrap it all tonight. That, you know, get him drunk and a little bit of food in the system, talking about, do you want to, you know, do the deed? And he's like, nah, I ain't gonna do that, I'm just gonna turn in so we can go on an adventure tomorrow. And just to find out he's gonna get arrested early in the morning to be accused of sexual assault. That man literally went to bed and woke up in handcuffs. You feel me? Don't know how that happened. Got drugged back to the castle where that bitch basically crying in one of the heroes' arms, talking about he did egregious things to me, some unforgivable stuff to me, knowing damn well he didn't do anything. And everybody just suddenly believes him. He don't even get a say in it. And the whole king just turned on him immediately and just forced him into, you know, exile. Got painted as a villain on your first day. Got accused of SA. You got robbed on top of that, because she did rob him in the middle of the night. It was just a bad fucking first day for that man. And on top of that, through his journey, he had to clean up the mess with the other heroes that were just leaving him around, because he kept treating that world as a game and not just real life. On top of that, he couldn't get along with the other heroes, with all of them being, you know, prospects of being killed by their own princess that set him up for SA. He just couldn't catch a dub no matter what. I mean, towards the end, thank God, towards the end, justice was served, even though I think they should have just, you know, give the game over sign to the king and the bitch. But, you know, moral grounds, you want to be a better person, yada yada, whatever, fuck that. Not me, but, you know, do watch the show if you want to see the whole entire story. It is a good show, don't get me wrong. Fucked up beginning, but beautiful show. Alright, now we're nearing our last character, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and again, comment down what character that truly deserves better. But for our last character that truthfully deserved better, if he's not in the thumbnail, it is Itachi Uchiha. I would be remiss if I did not leave off Itachi. One, he got portrayed as a villain from the very beginning, right? Totally executed his whole clan just for shits and giggles type deal, until you figure out and go deeper dive into his life. The Uchihas were planning to do a coup d'etat against the Leaf Village. He didn't want that because he didn't want another, or at least a civil war, and possibly the death of his own little brother Sasuke. So he took matters in his own hands, even though he didn't want to kill them all. His best friend Shisui wanted to put everybody in Genjutsu and just handle it from there, but he got persuaded and talked into by Danzo, bitch ass nigga, and he had to do what he had to do. But the only promise was to protect Sasuke and make sure he's okay, and on top of that, he will make sure Sasuke only hates him and only wants to come after him no matter what. Now, I don't know about you, but he didn't deserve that. He got exposed to the battlefield at 4 years old. Yes, 4 years old, ladies and gentlemen. His dad took him to a fucking battlefield to show him what really happens on as a ninja, just showing them dead bodies and whatever. Even then, when he was a Geni, Obito, the same nigga that fucking helped kill the entire clan, killed his teammates in front of him just so he can activate his Sharingan. Like, good gracious. And then the writer, Kishimoto, I don't understand what you were thinking when you're doing this, but giving this man ninja age. Ninja age. Why? Out of all things, a very just weird illness that no one knew about, and we all just kind of just sum it up to call it ninja AIDS. So why would you do that to that man? And in the end, he still died as a hero because he finally got to tell Sasuke the truth, that he didn't want to kill everybody, but he had to kill everybody. And I promise you, if none of y'all didn't at least get choked up a little bit when Itachi had to, you know, off his parents.
Itachi, Just promise me this. That you'll take care of Sasuke.
I will.
But fear it. This is the path you have chosen. Compared to yours, our pain will be over in an instant. You are truly a kind child.
Y'all really got a heart? Because that was really heart-wrenching for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. But if you made it to the end of the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and please follow down on the socials down below. It would be greatly appreciated. And it'll help me create more content for y'all. But it's your boy Easy. Till next time.